What's going on? It's your host, Chaze Barnes from the Night Audit. G- Glad y'all are here rocking with you, boy. Um, Nothing in particular. So this will be an episode, but when you all watch it, it probably be in the AM or whatnot. But no, I just wanted to kick it with you all for a second. I appreciate all the love, all the reviews I've been getting. The channel is like we're getting some traction, we're getting some motion. We got more to come, more to come, um I just want to talk about me and what I have, like some things is happening. I want to speak about setbacks and how to deal with it, how I'm dealing with them, and how you know you all how we all should be how we deal with setbacks. So I know I on my Wednesday stream, um I was very tired. Of course, I didn't really show it, but I had like earlier, I had like a flat tire. Well, I had a nail found in my tire on my rear side, on my right rear tire. I got out of my car. I always do visual checks. And I noticed something. I said, what is that? And, I went to like, of course, pull it out. And it just, it was like, oh snap. And I was just like, I try to put I tried to put the nail back in there. I know you like, Chaz, well, what's the point of doing that? I'm like, I'm trying to plug the hole. So I went to AutoZone to get like a tire kit, patch it up, whatnot. Now the only thing is um like what I learned about tires is the only time a tire can be patched if it's in like within the like middle section of the tire within the tread. Now, if it's on the side or the shoulder, because of the diameter of which the nail goes into, or which the nail is punctured, goes into the tire or the shoulder of the tire, is no way is no way it can be patched up. It's got to be replaced. So me, I'm sitting there like, I'm like, shoot, because it's like, all right, I got home around like a little bit after 6 o'clock, and I was like, dang, I made good timing. I didn't have to go to the gym. It wasn't a gym day, so I said, oh, I can get in, eat, watch TV, watch a little TV right quick, prep for the show, do an episode, whatnot, and drop it out. And sure enough, their plans got delayed, plans got canceled. So I went to AutoZone, like I said, got the tire kit, whatnot, and I called myself patching up now again, due to where the tire was. I'm doing whatever I can. I'm doing my best or whatnot. I do have a flat tire kit. When a lot of people who drive Challengers, or not Challengers, but Dodge Moparts, they usually come with a flat tire kit or a flat tire pressure, where you can whenever your oil whenever your tire pressure is low, you can always refill it. And that's what I did with my last car. I would do it. I would like go out there like once a week and fill it up, or at least once a month, however it may be. Now last time that all four of the tire pressures got filled back up to its levels is when I got an oil change recently. So I was like, shoot, man. I was like, well, I said, get paid on Friday. So I gotta make it to, because the tire place was closed. The Mavis was closed, and they closed on 7 on Wednesday. So I was like, dang, I'm not gonna be able to do anything until tomorrow. Now, again, this is I did now what I'm about to say, I did all this without knowing what I mean, when I got further confirmation that I'm gonna need to replace a tire. Because also, sorry, a little sidebar, we were supposed to get the AC fixed over here. So the AC, we have to reschedule the air condition installation until the 13th of June. Because I got something to do on the 6th. I got a 5K I gotta run for cancer. And I was like, I already signed up. I gotta go pick my stuff up not this Friday coming up, but the following, well, next Thursday. So sidebar on that. So anyway, so I was like, dang, okay, well, because the AC guy had texted me. He was like, hey, are we good for Saturday or do we need to reschedule? And I was just like, okay, well, I don't know. Like, let me get my bearings right. So I filled up the tire. So I patched up what I could patch up. I put air in the tire. I knew the tire was going to inflate. I did Google it. I say, well, how long does it take for a Dodge Challenger tire to like fully deflate itself, whatnot? They say, well, you lose 2 psi per day. I guess depending on the puncture of the hole. Now, it was a small hole, but so I was losing psi, but not enough. But I was able to fill it up to like over the recommended amount. So it's better to be overinflated and let the tire pressure go down slowly as I drive than just like riding on 4, the psi at 4 and just hoping, praying like, hey, don't go flat on me. So so anyway, I left work. Once I found out it, because Mavis called me, I set up an appointment. I called him when I got to work on Thursday morning to schedule it, and I'll say, hey, I just need a tire replacement, because I'm thinking like economically, we talking about tribal math, we talking about making the cuts, making adjustments, we talk about all the other stuff, but there's still the things we still need to do. We got to count the costs. So the guy told me, he said, hey, well, this is how much it's going to cost to not change the tire, but like repair it, if it's possible to repair. And I said, okay, cool, that'll work. Hey, I see you guys at 5, whatnot. And then they called me around 8. They called me a little bit later to confirm the appointment. And I told them, I said, hey, on the second thought, number one, the nail was at the side wall or the shoulder of the tire. And number two, I have a kill switch on my car. So you all are not going to be able to start my car up without me overriding it. So I'm gonna need something. I have something that overrides it, that allows people, like when I need to service or valet it, they can override that way. Now, if the key fob isn't present, the only person that can start the car up is me, owner operator. So anyway, so once we got that confirmed and cleared up, we pushed it off to Friday. So all I had to do was make sure that I get to work, make sure I pump the air up Thursday morning and Thursday afternoon and Friday morning and Friday afternoon, like today, I didn't pump it, y'all. That place was like 18 minutes away from my job. And I was like, it was raining outside today. And I was just like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. And then on top of that, my fuel light came on, so I needed gas as well. And I'm like, dang it, I can't, because my thought process was like, okay, I can just stop and get some gas on my way home after, if after I get my tire changed, whatnot, or I can stop and get some gas on the way, which I wound up doing. Once I got, like, I was 3 minutes from the Mavis, I went on and stopped at the Exxon. I said, whatever, screw it, we're gonna fill up the tank, go from there. Because the last thing needs to happen. The last thing needs to happen is that, we're riding on a flat tire and we don't have no gas in our car. I said, no, that's the no plan right there. I said, no, we're gonna have to pick a struggle. Okay, listen, we stop and get some gas. Because I said, worst come to worst, if I had to like come back the next day, well, that's fine. I can inflate my tire. I can go somewhere and inflate the tire up, and then just come back tomorrow, Saturday, and just get to replace the tire and go from there. And it was an accident too. It was an accident. I was just like, oh man, the lights was holding up. I mean, I was holding my patience, man. I was praying to the Lord. I said, just keep me patient. Keep me patient. Color the GPS. I was like, man, it's 18 minutes away from me. I thought it was down the street. And and so I'm driving. I'm like going through. It's taking me through a residential area and all that stuff like that. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is so out the way. But I said, I said, okay, we got this. We got this. So I get there. I had an appointment. I had a sit down, I had a session and whatnot. I had a with a counselor or whatnot. One of my uh kind of like I would say couples counselor. So, I still talk still talk to him separately. We talk about the relationship, but not we mainly just try to keep relationship about me and about my mom and everything else. So anyway, so I have to reschedule that as well because that was while I was trying to figure everything out. But I talk about like setbacks and all this because I was able to get it done. I was very ecstatic, like, yeah, like ready to go adulting. And this adulting stuff, man, like um I don't because when it rains, it pours. It rains on the just and unjust. Because that's it. I don't really throw temper tantrums. I don't throw temper tantrums at all. I don't throw temper tantrums. I just look at it like what is. It's not about what if. It's what is. Like, got a flat tire. Got to change the tire. Now, did I think of people that I could call? Like, if it was Monday or Tuesday, yeah, I probably had to make some phone calls. I probably had to say, hey, listen, can you help me with this because the tire was. I looked at the price of the tire. The tire was going to be $300, so I was like, okay, hey, listen, I give you the money back when I get paid. So you know, but it was Wednesday, and I said, well, it was Wednesday. It was Wednesday evening, and I was like, okay, all I gotta do is make it get through Thursday, get through Friday morning, and Friday morning commute. Okay, so got to get through Thursday morning commute, Thursday afternoon commute, Friday morning commute, and a little Friday afternoon commute to get this tire change. But when I discovered it, I didn't have any panic, you know. Um I didn't have as much worry about it because I was like, well, now you might say, well, I could ask my mom, whatnot, you know, not saying that I can't. My mom's already doing enough as it is. So I'm like, it's not that I couldn't, but I was just like, okay, so what can I do? What can I do? Now, like I said, this was a couple days ago. I would have to, maneuver some money around and, have to make, maybe essentially just ask my mom, like, hey, mom, can I loan me $300, get my tire change, and I'll pay you back. No worries. But I had a very calm spirit. I had a very calm spirit came over me. And I was just like, it was more like you got to work I think as men, you have to work yourself to being okay. You don't want to change the weather. Like a lot of times, if I was around a woman, it might say, uh, "It's okay, it's okay, it's okay." That don't help us. That don't really help us in moments like that. That we know it's gonna be okay, but we got to work our way through it. It's already. If I'm pissed off, yeah, it's like, oh shit, like got a flat tire. I got to change my tire. Ah man, but the thing that I did was I communicated with people as far as, hey, we got to reschedule it because the installation of the air conditioner was going to be 1630. We've already paid a deposit. We've already paid the deposit, so there's no price change. We just got to pay him for his labor. That's it. And I was just like, well, I'm not going to give $800 plus $300. That's $1,100 right there gone. Where I could have just delayed it, like, so with God, I think of God, he never delayed it may be a delay, but he never breaks his promises. And I said, because I thought about it, I said, well, what could be economically feasible? I could just patch the tire up, and still get a new tire, still gotta get a new tire, but then I run the risk of turning a $300 problem into a $500-$600 problem, you know, because if the tire blows and the car, hits another car. Then so I was like, no, we're gonna make a vision. We're gonna have a plan, make it simple. And I talk about this. I talk about setbacks, and they're it's an inconvenience. So it happens. This is an inconvenience. This is an anchor biter, but we was able to solve for it. We was able to something just got to get pushed back. Something got to get pushed down a little bit for now. But it was okay. It was gonna be okay. And I had like so far this year, I had three instances of that, and this was the third instance so far. The second instance was when I got my traffic ticket. When I got my first traffic ticket. After I got the traffic ticket, I was just like, "Oh, okay." Not that I was more nervous of like I'm gonna be late for work. Do I need to call my job? Because again, I didn't do anything. I mean, outside of making the legal left turn that plenty of cars still do, but I just happened to be the car that got caught doing it. And took care of that, whatnot. We ain't gonna let that hang over me, whatnot. But I did say a prayer. I didn't lose my faith. I think the thing is not losing my faith. And I think the first time I talk a little bit about it is I had working with somebody in the cryptocurrency space, and I somehow lost the money. Now the money I lost was small. Was the money I lost was significant, but the amount I put in was small. That made sense. And that happened like a week before Easter, and I I had a panic or whatnot. It was panicking because I was just like the means of communication, they communicated me through Telegram, and the email was janky. Like they were saying, hey, you need to give us $10,759. I said, what? Excuse me? And I share a little bit more. I share more insight on that because I don't want to make this longer than what it has to be. I don't want to take up too much of you all's time. And if you finding this insightful and useful, share your comments. Hit the like button as well. But that situation went down. But that Monday, after I cleared everything up, because it has already happened. And I remember like a small voice in my back of my head was saying, like, hey, if you will lose this money, if you don't get this money, what would you do? And sure enough, after I, released, I was like, okay, it's happened. It's what is. What needs to be shown was shown to me. And I was just like, okay, this is not going to be the way. It's obviously not the only way to make money, but I'd rather do it off the backs of my own hard work, my own strength, than trying to make little shortcuts and maneuvers to get there. But I did. I had that Monday. I had a very calm spirit. I was able to walk away from it. I was able to keep my integrity. I was able to keep my character. Because what's the point of money is useless if you don't have the character to go along with it. So in the 3 of those instances so far, I didn't lose my faith. I guess is all tying into it. The setbacks is not losing. Don't lose your faith. It's just delays, and it's all part of like what Peter told. I think it was Peter or Jesus that said there'll always be trouble in this world. For Jesus said, I've overcame it, but there will always be trouble in this world. So when it comes to adulting, when it comes to all that stuff, I just know there's always gonna be trouble in this world. It's always gonna be trouble. Through the joys of life, you gotta endure. You gotta endure through the trials and tribulations. You gotta endure through it. Don't try to backdoor your way through it. Don't try to shortcut your way through it, because again, all you doing is shorting yourself. And so I know I have to make improvements. I got to make some adjustments. I was just working on logging in some numbers from my Every Dollar app as well, trying to make sure my tribal math looks a little bit better. And we're not, second half of the year, we're gonna be making some changes. We're gonna be making some adjustments as well. Because even with with my changes in my pay and whatnot, I need to really start seeing where I'm really working with, where I'm really working with moving forward as well. But I just want to come on here and just kick it with you all for a second. I hope you all having a lovely time. Hope you all have a safe Memorial Day weekend as well. Um, if I drop something, I'll let you all know. Y'all will see it in there. But yeah, I mean, again, just keep the faith. Like, setbacks gonna happen. You know, life gonna throw you curveballs. You know, you ain't gotta try to hit a home run. You gonna strike out. But nobody never says when you fall down you can't get back up. When like you fall off the horse, you can get back up, dust yourself off. You better hit that curveball. You better hit that home run. And sure enough, so yeah, man, that's all I got. You know, you know, yeah, I got the basketball game on in the back. Anybody who's some Spurs fans, you know, they're gonna be down 2-1. But anyway, all right, y'all. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Peace.